No, it is not better than the 2013 remake. And no, it actually is not better than Evil Dead Rise, honestly. But does that mean this was a bad movie? Not exactly. This movie genuinely is Evil Dead. Like it has Evil Dead written all over it. And what I mean by that is just it's not a carbon copy of all the other Evil Dead movies, but it basically is the same premise, the same exact kind of motives and stuff. And you get to see the same old disgusting scenes again, right? It's nothing innovative. It's nothing that will be talked about for the next thousands of years. No, by any means. But does that mean that I didn't enjoy watching this movie or like I would never watch this movie again? No. Actually, I think this is a great marathon movie. If you want to watch all the Evil Dead movies, I think this fits pretty well there. Counting from Evil Dead 2013 up, I think this is mid there with Evil Dead Rise. They both have their own thing, so I can't really say which one is better than the other. I will say though, Evil Dead 2013 is just like it's to me is one of the best horror films ever done, and that's just my opinion. So I hold that title really high up. So comparing that movie as these are like sequels or whatever you want to call them, this movie it doesn't really add anything to it, but rather just kind of has fun with the concepts and whatnot. Now I know this is a scary theme that I'm about to mention right now, comedy and horror movies. I know that's scary, right? But I'm not gonna lie, this movie has a little bit of comedy in here. It kind of takes it kind of takes attention off in certain scenarios, and it kind of does work. It doesn't really take you out of the movie. It's kind of like a like a chuckle. Like it's genuinely, it's a movie that's self-aware of what it's doing, and it's not like ashamed to show it. Like this is not one of those like Evil Dead 2 where like it's just fucking goofy and shit, which is fun movies to watch and make fun of, but or whatever, but you know, this one doesn't reach that side. It's not like it's all comedy and it just becomes comedy all the way. No, 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 no. It has this very serious and like heavy drama moments and whatever, but it does have a lot of comedy elements and they really do work. On another note, talking about the gory and disgusting stuffs about the movie, there's a lot of killing, of course, right? It's Evil Dead. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of killing, but there's certain scenes where I go like, what the actual hell, right? I question myself, specifically one death. I think it's the third death in the movie. So if you watch it, you'll probably understand. It's the third death in the movie, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, luckily, actually, I'm not even gonna talk about it. But point of the matter is, that's one of the kills where I went like, okay, they're actually trying to get people triggered off of this. You know what I'm saying? And it actually does work because I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen a lot of people mention it. So, yeah, it's not a like a cool scene, I might say, but it's a scene where it's like, oh, wow. Now, something I mentioned in my previous Evil Dead reviews or comments and stuff has been performances like, oh, like I forgot her name. I'm so sorry, and I actually forgot both their names. I'm so sorry, dude. I haven't. Anyways, so in Evil Dead 2013, the main character, like the one that gets possessed, she did an outstanding job with her performance. So did pretty much everybody in the cast of Evil Dead Rise, specifically again the one that gets possessed. In this one, we don't really have that. We don't really have someone that just went over and beyond with their performance and actually sold it to the point where you just go, this could be Oscar worthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one went there. I'm not saying that anybody did a bad job. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like they did what they were supposed to do, and that's it. And that's nothing against them. I just think that maybe it was script wise. Maybe because the script was so bland and more focused on the essence of Evil Dead, they weren't really giving the material to do something far and beyond to the things that would stand out in terms of acting performances in this specific case. But I would say everybody did a great job, especially in the acting. And one of the standouts for me in this movie, I must mention this, is absolutely the camera work. I think there's a lot of shots in this movie and editing choices. Well, yeah, there's a lot of shots in this movie where I'm like, oh, that's a nice ass shot. And there's another other moments where I go like, the editing here is you know, this looks like a Fast and Furious movie with like 2 cuts per second and stuff like that. But it really kind of does work. It kind of shows some artistic choices in the movie, which I appreciate. You know, don't try to make everything the same. You know, at least change it editing wise, color correction wise, whatever wise. So I really do appreciate the little how different this looks from all the other Evil Deads, even though it's still the Evil Dead and it still has the essence of the Evil Dead, and it's still essentially Deadites being fucking dicks and killing everybody for no fucking reason or whatever the fuck, you know? So this movie, as I said, not a bad movie at all, but I wouldn't put it that high up in the Evil Dead list. I wouldn't even put it above Evil Dead Rise. So, but not exactly below. I just think they're. It's just there. It's just a really good marathon movie if you want to watch all three. In fact, if you want to watch all the first Evil Dead, then the garbage that followed it, then Evil Dead Remake, which is the best one, and then proceed off of that, it actually does fucking work. So, giving this movie a rating, I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I would say go watch it. Honestly, it's a good watch. It's a good popcorn movie, if I must say so. You will laugh. You will feel disgusted, and no, if you like horror movies or just Evil Dead, I think you'll enjoy it. So.